G'day, Tragic here, and welcome to, we're going to play Lord of the Rings, we're going to play Quest 2 of the Hobbit again. So this is the deck that I have on Rings database. It's public, you can just go to the description. The reason I'm going to play this again is because I want to show the deck function a little better. We had a very bad draw, and I did make a big error in the live game. Not one that affected the outcome in any way, but I'd still rather have one on the channel which was a perfect run. So what we're going to do, we're just going to click on Play on Dragon cards. I'm going to play this digitally on the online. I'll do it publicly. If anyone wants to join, they're allowed. On the web browser based game. So we're going to load up the quest. We're going to load up the Hobbit. It's over the Misty Mountains Grim. And we've loaded up my deck, and I do have the treasures are already in this deck, right? Now, I'm not going to go through the quest as deeply as I did in the other one. I'm just going to play it. So this is going to be a much quicker game. Let's get the Great Goblin out. Get my heroes into the spaces I like. Okay, so basically 1A just says do the setup, then 1B just says grab after you've drawn your hand, you get to take a treasure card out. When revealed, each player may search his deck for one treasure card and add it to his hand. So I'm just going to save this because this is now set up, just in case I lose. Then I don't have to set up again. So I start by shuffling my deck and drawing my cards. So I just do that by doing a mulligan. And then I shuffle the encounter deck, and now the game is ready to go. So we've done a shuffle. We've got Forest Snare in hand. We've got 2 blockers, and we've got a Horn of Gondor. So that's actually a pretty good hand. So I'm actually going to keep this hand. So we're going to go new game, get our resources, and then following the instructions on the card, I'm just going to grab Sting and place it out. Shuffle that. And that's going to give me an extra will because he's got 1 extra will, and it also gives me 2 combat. Now that says +2, but the way I use icons is that I actually just write the number of the total. So that's just 2, and then I don't have to even notice what's written on it. Okay, so then we have to go to the next stage. So we'll just get rid of that. Then we have to reveal 1 card per player. So let's just bring that out. And out comes Cave Entrance with its forced effect. It's only 1 in the staging, and it's very, very handy for us. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 1 and place out Horn of Gondor. I'm also going to go 1 and place out Hemmermarth. Okay, and boom, boom, boom. Flick it out. Okay, when revealed, we do not want to do this, so I'm going to cancel that with Eleanor. Bring out the next one. It is Dreary Hills, which is +3. We are -3, so 1, 2, 3. We go to 27 threat. I'm then going to travel to this one here because it's only 3. That gets 3 out of the staging area. This leaves 1. That means the effect triggers. The effect triggers here, sorry. At the end of the round, place the top X cards in the discard pile. So we'll just go move to counter deck, bottom. And I'll just reveal what's next since I can. That guy's actually a trump. It is another annoying card. Okay, so fortunately we don't have a decent 2-drop, so I'm actually going to have to do 2 from here. Place that out. And I'm going to go bam, 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 bam. questing for 7. Out comes the next card. We're going to let this ride. So it says the first player chooses one stone giant in the staging area. At the end of the quest phase, the stone giant engages the player with the highest threat. So that's pretty much that. So I'm just going to leave that up there so I don't forget this time. We've got 2, so this goes 1, 2, and Drury Hills is cleared. And now this is a bad play because I really shouldn't have done this because I'm in danger of losing my forest trap now because this says after Drury Hills leaves play as an explored location, Bilbo Baggins gets 1 resource, so he gets a resource. But also, we have to discard 1 card at random. So choose random, anything but Forest Snare. Okay, perfect. That's fine. And then we move to Cave Entrance. And this guy attacks. Now he has the ability, while at least 1 stone, after Stone Giant engages the player, that player chooses and discards 1 ally. We discard Spirit Ally. He gets a Shadow card. We then block with Heremarth. No effect. He is killed, which does trigger Horn of Gondor, which adds 1 resource. And then we untap. 1, 2, 3. We place out the Forest Snare, and I'm also going to go Durion's Ruins or whatever, which draws 2 cards. And then we get to discard any card, and we're going to discard Hammersmith here. Okay. Quest with these guys. So we're questing for 5. Out comes the next card. It is an Overhanging Rock. Perfect. This is going much more like a normal game. This guy gets discarded because we've quested for 3. We move to Overhanging Rock. We get Shadow cards, which of course is automatically discarded because he is on a Forest Snare. Draw a new round. And we have a pretty good card. Now, we only need 2 resources to beat it going into the next phase. Now, we haven't put any tokens down yet, so I'm going to spend all 5 of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and trigger the ability of Overhanging Rock, which says, I might just make this larger, there we are, which says spend 1 Hobbit resource to look at the top 2 cards of your deck, add 1 to your hand, discard the other. So we go 1, we'll keep the Mathan, 2, we'll keep the Spearman, 3, we'll keep the draw, 4, we'll keep the Expecting Mischief, and 5, we'll keep Arwen. Okay, so I'm going to spend 1 and place out the Mathan. And that's pretty much it for now. So we're going to go bam, bam, bam. Out comes the next card. Okay, so this is a very annoying card. This one says X is the number of players in the game, so it's 1 threat, and forced. So this happens whether it's in the staging area or in the travel area. At the end of the round, remove X progress tokens from the quest. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. This gets discarded. We draw 3 cards, 1, 2, 3. And because this is we're going to travel here, and because this is active, we actually remove this token. Now, normally I don't like traveling here because basically you can get really stuck on this card. Like if you're only placing 1 or 2 tokens, you're actually placing 1 less because 1 gets removed every round. But I think we're fine. Okay, of course we get a Shadow card, which is discarded. It is a Cave Entrance. We want to discard. There's 2 other trolls that we don't want. Hopefully we'll discard. And now it's the next turn. Okay, we have Galamdring or whatever his name is. So we're going to stick that over here. Doesn't cost anything to cast. That gives him +2. So he is now at 4 combat. Got another one for the next phase. I'm going to spend 1-2 and place out a Quester. I'm also going to spend, we've also got a feint and we've got a snare. So we're ready to go to the next phase basically already. I think I'll put out you as well. This is our first dwarf getting to the table. And I don't really want to cast this yet because I kind of like all these cards. And you have to discard a card. So we're just going to quest away. We're questing for 8 now. Out comes a card. It is a crow, which is automatically killed by Phelan's ability. So we get 8. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Get another shadow card. It is a giant, excellent. So that's one of the giants gone. We only need to get the other one gone, and we've basically got nothing stopping us. Draw another card. Okay, it's another standard fight. That's excellent. I don't want to really discard any of those cards again, so I'm just going to go. Now, the reason why I'm not putting out Thalen, I've got 5 on Thalen. The reason I'm not putting out my Gondorian Spearman is because if we get another one of these guys, when he attacks, we have to sack a player, an ally. So this way, they're protected because we do have a feint, so we don't worry about them attacking. So if we have no allies, or we only have allies we don't really care about, by the time he comes down and attacks, it's not going to be an issue for us. So again, we're going to be questing for the same amount, which is 8. Out comes the next card. It's a Jury Heals. That's +5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're then going to travel there. We get a shadow card, which is discarded. And bam, new go. Boom. Okay, so now we have 2 Gandalfs. So I'm going to cast the Dwarven Runes, draw another 2 cards, and we're going to get rid of one of these Gandalfs. We have a huge amount of control. We just want to speed along now. So we've got 3 tokens here, so we're pretty much ready to go. So what I'm going to do, we've got 8. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and place out you. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and place out you, and 1, 2, and place out you. Okay, so Gandalf quests without actually tapping, which is very cool. And we're not going to quest with this guy. Let me just see, how much do we quest if we just quest like that? We're only questing for 10, so I'm going to quest with this guy. We're questing for 12. 10's enough, actually, because there's 2 here. That's 8, 8 is 16. So we should be good. Okay, this card's going to come out. Boom. It is, okay, let me think. So if I kill this thing says the first player chooses a questing character. That character takes 3 damage and is removed from the quest. So I'm actually going to let that ride. I'm not going to cancel it with Eleanor. So that gets triggered. We kill this guy by putting 3 damage on it. He is destroyed because he got damage, which means this guy gets another resource because of Horn of Gondor. And we're questing for 9. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're one short. Okay, so we get 1 resource on Bilbo, and then we have to discard a card at random. As long as it's not Feint or Forest Snare, I'll be pretty happy. Choose random. It is standard fight. It's a bit annoying, but whatever. Out comes a shadow card. Flippity Rune. It's Overhanging Rock, but we don't really care at this point. New round. And I'm going to go up 2 threat to keep Gandalf on the table. Okay. So we're going to quest like this. We're going to leave Bilbo untapped. So we're questing for 9. Out comes the next card. It is a hill giant, but it doesn't matter because we've got +5 progress. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which passes the mountain pass. Now remember, now that we go into the goblin cave, we actually remove all of the existing encounter deck cards. So we're going to just move this to encounter deck 3. We'll just move this to encounter deck 3 to get rid of it. Come down to encounter deck 2. And I'll just move this to encounter deck 1 and shuffle it in. Okay, this guy comes into the staging area. And it says reveal 3 encounter cards per player. Bilbo Baggins may spend X resources to reduce the total number of encounter cards by X. So I'm just going to spend 2. Means we only reveal 1 card. Starting with the first player, each player must choose 1 goblin enemy from the discard pile and add it to the staging area. Well, there is nothing in the discard pile, so that fizzles. And we're basically in a very good position. This guy comes down to attack us. He gets a shadow card. We spend 1 off Thalen to faint. That means this does not attack. And then it is the new round. Okay, I'm going to let Gandalf die. Don't want to spend the threat. I don't need to. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Put out the forest snare. I'm going to spend 1, 2. Place out another quester. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 1, spend standard fight, and place Hammermarth back on the table. I think he was right at the beginning, yep. Tap him. The next one is a 2 threat, so that's fine. So I'm just going to go gabam, 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 and gabam. Out comes the 2 threat. Remember, it is Thalen, so he gets 1 damage. There's 2 in the staging area and 5 to pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The guy attacks us, gets a shadow card. We tap with Gondorian Spearman, which adds 1 damage to this guy. He only has 2, so he's automatically killed. And of course, this shadow card doesn't do anything because he's snared. Let's flip over you, see if there's anything of interest here. May as well get the Mathan just in case. And new round. Okay, this time I'm going to spend 2, put out the quester. I'm going to tap you, see what's coming next. It is a location, so that's no problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Requesting for 10. Out comes the card, that's +8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're then going to travel here. So it does have a forced effect. It just means that we gain damage when we are attacked by enemies. And we have to travel there. So when this is when it's the active location, when an orc engages us, we get 1 damage. Okay, he gets a shadow card, of course, which is just discarded. We're going to tap this. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. Keep order. And bam. Okay, let's tap you, see what's next. It's another location. We're going to tap you, place out Mathan. Bam, 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 bam. Out comes this card, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Got another faint. Travel to this guy. Out comes the next shadow card, which is discarded. And I think I'm going to put that one out. I want a bit of combat power now. Actually, we'll put this one out. Yep, okay, keep order like that. New game, new turn, boom. This comes down here. I'm going to go 1, 2, place out another spearman. I'm going to go, that's about that. That's about all I can do. let's tap Herma, see what's next. It is a monster with Surge. So I'm just going to spend 1 and place out Expecting Mischief. This guy does 2 damage, plus we get Phelan, which does 3 damage. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. We only need 3 to pass, right? So that's 3. We only need 6. We only need 6. 1, 2. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. So this guy comes out. He does have Surge, but remember he gets hit for 2 damage before it's even happened. So he's actually killed. Same with Phelan's ability, before keywords and before when revealed. So that's the end of that. We get 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Now, this guy does get +1 threat, but he's killed, remember? So it doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We beat this. This thing here says, even though we've passed it, we have to kill the Great Goblin. Great Goblin gets a card. It doesn't do anything because he's snared. We then go tap and we go tap. That's tapping both these weapons to casting 2 sets of Goblin Cleavers. That puts 6 damage on him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because it does 3 damage instead if he's an orc. He is an orc. So that's 6. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's then put into the victory display. And that's it. So that's an example of the quest, the deck running more optimally. I mean, we had a pretty good run then. We only got 1 hill giant and we got an early overhanging rock, but it's a better example of the deck functioning correctly because we had a really bad draw in the live play. And that's that. I will see you guys next time. And just for the record, this took me 20 minutes to make. That other video took me like 10 hours. Okay, see you later.